Hello, 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 and welcome to the daily political tarot and astrology here on the Black and Orange channel. Oh boy. Thank you for being here. I'm here literally every single day of the year to take your political questions out of the chat. Just put your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers who have kept us safe for years. Thank you. And that has allowed us to build this great community where you have all been so kind to each other and so kind to me as well. Thank you. And if you are part of the community watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box because all the questions are listed there. Timestamp them as I go so you can watch. You can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back at a higher speed, whatever works for you. So, hello, hello. All right, I'm already halfway through the tea. That gives you an idea. Oh boy, see, all right. I don't just watch. I don't start watching my own channel. I mean, I see the odd bit here and there just to make sure the quality is okay. You can hear me, stuff like that. But I do check, I do watch other readers. I mean, I watched other readers before I started this channel. That's what inspired me. Thank you, Kristen from Third Eye Champagne. Kristen? Did I just say Kristen? Kirsten? Juggling too much in my head, I apologize. Anyway, Kirsten from Third Eye Champagne. And I'm trying to figure out what's going on because I'm seeing a lot of people who are, I'm not naming names. It's not everybody. It's just in general, I'm seeing a number of people who are just a little, I don't know. They just seem very optimistic about everything that's happening. And I think we're going to be okay. I really do. But I don't, am I missing something? Because nobody who does this is 100% correct. And if somebody's wrong, my first assumption is it's me. But I don't know. I do think we're going to get through this. But there's a lot more coming that we're going to have to deal with. And the questions today are not happy clappy. This is where we are, and I'm trying to give you perspective on that it's not forever, that we can get through this. We are going to get through this. But it's going to take some, we're at the U.S., but still, there can be times there'll be a little stiff upper lip and super, super strong cup of tea. I mean, look at the color of that. That's tea. We'll get through it. But anyway, I'll grab I feel like I should use the Aquarius deck. Let's use the Aquarius deck. The only problem with that is I've got to pull the whole rack out to get to the Aquarius deck. So anyway, I hope that I hope it's just me. But I don't want to blow smoke. Alabama Cajun says, my major arcana of the day is the Magician. What does that mean to you? I can tell you what it means to me, but what does it mean to you? Okay. Jana says, the assignment is to tell us the truth. Some folks think the assignment is to keep us from rioting. Here you go. Oh, I think if there's a time to riot, if there's a time to protest, I should say, not really riot. But if there's a time to protest, then yeah, we should do that. But all right, let's jump in. And you know me, I'm more of I'm channeling my inner home front, World War II home front mother or wife or whatever. Get a garden going, stock up, keep being positive. So I'm not giving a poke. No, not remotely. I'm just a little surprised. Okay, so at 6 minutes in, I forgot to say, on today's episode, and this is good. The Felonious Furhrer signed a new executive order that makes Orangina and the AG the only arbiters of the law and gives His Mangoness direct control over independent agencies around the government. We'll get to that. There's a list. The main archivist at the National Archive has been removed from her position. What could go wrong? And the 30-year head of the Social Security Administration stepped down after refusing to allow DOGE access to sensitive information. What now? Uh, 7 minutes in. So we're starting with Heather and Kay Coop. We're both asking about this. And I will say, I do know that Mars is finally going to go, it's going to come out of retrograde this Sunday. So he's been getting a whole bunch of breaks because they've been working on plans that they made before Project 2025 and implementing those. And what should happen is that starting Sunday and then building up over the following weeks, the here and now, actions here and now should start. The reactions to this, the movement should start moving forward. So that's good. But both Heather and Kay were asking, okay, I'm really shaken by the latest executive order, which puts the Felonious Furhrer and the AG as the only arbiters of the law and installed direct control over independent agencies. The Unitary Executive Theory in action. These, I've got a list here, these include the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, all of which enact regulations and can impose hefty fines on businesses that violate the rules. And this, if I am correct me if I am wrong, but from the reading I've done, this gives him partial control over the Federal Reserve Bank, that committee, that he can't change interest rates, but he's trying. I think he controls their budget now. So this is a lot of that's a lot. That would be a lot of if anything, I don't even know if doing one, even an overloaded Celtic reading, I don't even know if that's enough cards because it's so many different departments, but I'm gonna pull lots of cards on this one. We'll see what we've got. The world. We are going to be okay. We really are. And I do think he's getting away with stuff now that he won't be able to get away with later. But like I said, channel your inner, person on the home front, where you're doing what you need to do, and you're an actual patriot, and you actually believe in the Constitution, and you're not going to let fascists get you down or make you give up. So, how's this going to fly? The arrogance. The absolute arrogance. Who does this guy think he is? He's a crook. He's a thief. He should be in prison. He shouldn't be in charge of a fly swatter. Oh, but I'm going to be bitter for just 1 second here. Oh, but we can't possibly have the woman of color in charge. Anyway, 6 of Cups. We know what's what. Elaine says, yes, I need a hobby. I don't know if you channel your inner Mrs. Miniver, 6 of Cups. We understand what's going on. We understand what's needed. We know what the Constitution is. We believe in it. We're helping each other. Danette is asking, what's the question? It's number 1 in the description box beneath. It's about the executive orders, this executive order, where he's basically just tried to usurp control over vast swaths of otherwise independent agencies that could hold him accountable. But we know what's going on, and we see it. Alton Bond, how do you take your coffee? Bleak. That's hysterical. Okay. Oh, look at that. Right behind it is the devil card. Yeah, we know what's what. Our eyes are perfectly clear. We see what's happening. All right, let me just turn all this stuff over. I don't know if it's worth showing you directly. I mean, oops. That's what it looks like. So let me turn these over. It's kind of smushed all together here, but ooh, I like this. Okay. In the past, fruits of labor. Oh, Carolyn, my gosh, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Seven of Pentacles. Fruits of labor. The U.S., we had immense power, influence, success. Yeah, it's amazing what democracy and decency can do. I'm not saying we've been perfect, but in the center, yeah, there are a lot of sleepless nights here. People not sleeping well. At the base, Dumpy is trying to use chaos and fear and threats, and I mean, this is what he does. This is his bread and butter. His mode of operation. That's the base of everything he does. And above it, we have a bunch of invertebrate, weak-willed MAGAs and Republicans willing to go along with this. But we also have a judicial branch that is trying to push back. All right. So there's that. In the home environment, temperance. It doesn't mean that we're in a temperate situation, but we need to show temperance in our own lives. We need to just be as calm as we can. We cannot let them burn us out. And they're trying. They are trying to burn us out. They will continue trying to burn us out. We can't let them. Hopes and fears. Page of Cups. Because so few people voted during the last election, the youth vote became much more important. And there are a lot of, not by a long shot, but there are quite a few young people who were heavily influenced by COVID. They became more isolated. They missed some of the interactions with other people that would teach you lessons on empathy, on community. And so some of them decided to not show up or go to the right or just, yeah, they vote against their own interests because it didn't understand. What other people see? Damage. The damage that this knuckle-dragging troglodyte is doing to everyone. And then the challenge. All the people like Muck and the muckrats who are trying to destroy. They're either evangelicals who believe that we have to support Israel because there has to be destruction there, because that's the only way that Jesus will come back. That's pretty messed up. Considering what Jesus taught, that's messed up. To think, oh yeah, these people, they need to suffer, so my King of Kings will come back. Yeah, I don't think that's how Jesus works. I really don't. Not what he's about. But anyway, so it's either the evangelicals who want destruction, it's the bubble creating techno bros who want to live in their own bubbles with massive fiefdoms, kingdoms, who cannot handle reality and diversity and democracy because they're too weak as individuals. That's the challenge. Near future. All right, we know we're dealing with some disappointment here. This Four of Swords. See, the disappointment works both ways because these are cups. These are parts of the government that are there. They're trying to knock some of them down, but there are things still standing. And they're trying to destroy departments, but they can't. Not completely. So this is hard, but it's bad. It's not just bad for us, it's bad for them as well. Sherry says, I watch cleaning rugs on YouTube to stay calm. Oh yeah, I love those. All right, final outcome. Hope. The country. These are major arcana. And then the third card is not major arcana. And it's the right still trying to stir things up. But hope. This is us. And this is major arcana. And they're still going to be around. Even if Democrats took over everything. There'll still be some MAGA people. They'll still be, but this is major arcana. This isn't. So this is like in all caps. And this is weaker. I do not believe we're going to lose our democracy. I really don't. But I think we are in a difficult time. And I think that we need to just hold on, be sensible, help each other. I'm just leery of. I'm just leery. I don't want to overstate how. I don't want to overstate how bad it could get temporarily, or understate how much better things will be eventually. But I've looked at the astrology, and there's so much energy coming that it's gonna like knock a lot, like whole bunches of people onto their rear ends, just like whoa. There's just so much once in a lifetime astrological stuff happening, starting in March, going through like August. So Two of Pentacles. Be careful. Be careful with your money. Gently says that's a long time. Yeah. For right now, not this summer, but right now, they think they're set. They think they can do this fascist would-be dictator. He thinks he can do anything he wants, and there's 2025, so he's got a plan, and he's got a plan for the first time in his entire pathetic life. Mr. 6 bankruptcies. For right now, we are holding it together, and we're not letting him bait us. We're not letting that disgusting muck bait us. So wait for, let's see, when the Sunday when Mars starts going direct again, when it's not going retrograde anymore, it's going to take a little while to go back over the ground it lost, going retrograde. But give it a little bit of time. Things are already going to start moving, and then as soon as it clears it's what's called its shadow, it's going over that area it already did, then things are really going to start moving forward. And then you start getting outer planets changing signs here, here, here. So that is it. That is really it, Mystic Dax. Hello. It will get worse before it gets better, but it will get better. That is exactly what I feel. That's exactly it. So in the same way, if there were a bunch of people acting like fools and you were standing there, what would, they're trying to bait you to do this and get upset about that and while something else over here is taking, but they're all being very childish and destructive. And there's a point, you can't jump in. You're just waiting for others to arrive or what have you. So what do? Observe. Contact people who, like your representatives, who have more power, who are in better positions of more power. Don't let them bait you. They're pathetic. They're utterly pathetic human beings with no emotional intelligence. Oh yeah, and Trump's latest post about Zelensky, small mind. What a small mind he has. All right, moving on. 2510. All right, there's some people arguing that he's trying to get as much done in awful. He's trying to get as much awfulness done as he can. Because there's some people who think he's pushing harder and harder and harder because he wants people to riot. Now, I don't believe that. I'll ask the cards, but I don't think so. But there is an argument. There's some people out there arguing that he wants people to riot so he can declare martial law. I think he just wants to be emperor. Then if it comes to riots or what have you, yeah, he's a sadist. He's literally a sadist. I'm not just insulting him to be insulting. You can look at his behavior. There's actual narcissism. There's actual sadism. There is sociopathy. So. Will this lead to martial law? Is that what he's after? But is that what he's... Well, he doesn't even need a reason if he decides. Bethany says, you can insult him all the time. We don't mind. Dave says, you're correct. Thank you. Thank you. A little curtsy in my chair. Two of Pentacles. Well, there are going to be more and more people upset as more and more of the damage sinks in. Inflation rising. I think I saw a headline. Did it just happen this morning where he's adding tariffs to car imports? Oh, what to know about measles? Yay. Here we go. Trump's auto tariffs. The president wants to impose 25% tariff on imported vehicles in April. It could immediately make car prices more expensive. Yeah. So it's financially hurting. I'm so sorry. Let me take a sip of tea and clear my throat. Allergies. Aren't they grand? Okay. Financially shaky. 10 of Cups. Democrats holding together. I mean, look, I would literally hold your hand if I could. If somebody needed a hug, I'd give it to them. If I was cooking, I would give it. I have a Cancer moon. I want you to be okay, but I don't want to blow smoke. But we can keep very clear-eyed about this whole situation and hold together and know that we're part of a community. Chaos. Yeah, I mean, that's his goal. Knight of Swords. We need more people bringing suits. We need more judges standing up. Hermit, again, acting where we need to, not being baited. Does that make sense? 4 of Cups. And do not expect any of them to listen to pleas for mercy or empathy. And that is awful that I have to say that. But don't even expect it. Don't let them bait you. We're going to get through this. We are. Even if Dave's saying the courts are insufficient. The courts are slow. They may not be everything we want, but they are there. The thing to understand is that even what they're trying to create, you can't get there from here. And people will realize that. Shivana says, why is he or they doing this? Control. They want control. They cannot handle. They can't handle diversity. They can't handle other modes of thought, other beliefs. Being a part of a community that really helps each other, that wants a better future for everybody. They can't wrap their heads around that. Their little tiny pinheads around that. And it's hard for me to understand. I don't get it. Hurting people so you have more money? Huh. What were you raised in a dirt pit? I mean, what? Anyway. So, National Archives. Well, we could kind of see this coming since there was an attempt to the National Archives attempted to hold him accountable for his actions. So, of course, now he's so the main archivist for the National Archives was forced out of her position. What damage is Rusty Racketeer going to do to the National Archives? Says if I gave a new name to the Republican Party, I call it the NPA, the Not C Party of America. MAGA is. Okay, National Archives. Oh, this is just one of many, many things that he's throwing out there. Ten of Pentacles, his legacy. He's also taken over the Kennedy Center. It is literally, he has set it up so that he personally decides what plays they're going to put on at the Kennedy Center. What is the play equivalent of steak cooked until it's leather, slathered in ketchup? Yeah, the archivist hemming them in, forced her out. Three of Cups, Ace of Wands. There are people, excuse me, there are people who are so dedicated to history that they'll do whatever it takes to get through this. Who was it? Was it Dolly Madison? Please correct me. When the White House was burning and it burned to the ground, I think it was Dolly Madison. Who was it? There was a woman who ran in to save a painting of George Washington. People who will, to save history, to save the records. Thank you, Jolie. It was Dolly, yes. Thank you. There are people who will, if they have to hide things, if they have to take photographs of historical documents, if they have to, they will do all kinds of things to keep history. Dumpy is going to be awful. This will not go well. for the National Archives. I just don't see it going well for them. But I see people working there doing all kinds of stuff to keep history as safe as they can in any way they can. That's what I'm getting. Chris Cole says he literally closed the Kennedy Library, locked the doors permanently. Oh, good. Okay. Ms. Aqua says, I have a request. Stop legitimizing DOGE. You are preaching to the choir. Amy says, do you think the people who've worked in the archives downloaded all the info? I don't think they can download all the info, but what it feels like is just like being a steward to history is vitally important, and it's a noble calling. So yeah, also women in power, that too. All right. Oh, by the way, speaking of portraits, yeah, thank you for mentioning it. The door, the main door people use to get in and out of the Oval Office, outside of that door, facing the door, the terracotta toad has hung his mugshot in a gold frame. Kind of says everything. Chris Cole says, what is this obsession with JFK? Oh, where to start? JFK was from a tight-knit family. He was well-spoken. He was good-looking. He was charming. He had women out the wazoo. He was beloved in history. Yeah. So. All right. Yes, everything he's not, says Lisa Kay. Yeah. Okie dokie. At 37:45, Olaraza. It's beautiful. Beautiful name. Okay. Asked, I know Musty is the main stage in this drama, but I'm curious about Stephen Miller. Oh, you asked us the other day. I told you I do roll over the questions. I'm curious about Stephen Miller. Nazi-Feratu. And his link to the Heritage Foundation is Nazi-Feratu the true policymaker for Con 47? Or is it Russell? It's supposed to be vote, but I do not want to associate Russell vote with voting, so I still just say Russell Vought, as in we ought not to vote. So Nazi-Feratu, Russell Vought is, I mean, he wasn't he head of the Heritage Foundation, something like that. He was very important in all of that garbage. And but Nazi-Feratu, I mean, it was a deputy policy something. Yes, Raymond de Pascal. Yes. Why, yes. I'll just leave that there on the screen for you to see. And someone might say, well, that's not right. He's Jewish. You're telling us it's not right? Yeah. When do tariffs take effect? The Orange Stain has said he's putting 25% tariff on imported cars starting in April. Will he? I don't know. Chaos. Summer Virgo 81 says, that Miller guy really likes to yell every time he gets interviewed. Geez, he's missing screws. Oh my God. Yeah, he does. That is a very good point. Nazi Ferratu, he really likes to yell every time he's getting interviewed. Yeah. And somebody married him. And they have children. Can you imagine being married to Nazi Ferratu? Jeez. I love you, and that's how it is. You will not question that it's Valentine's Day and I love you. Yeah. These guys are the kings of MAGA. Trying to stir things up. Nazi Ferratu in the past was thwarted by systems in the government that stopped the worst of their impulses. There's a big old fool card because of, well, the dumb things they do, but also who they're following. 5 of Swords adding insult to injury. Oh, you want to talk about a sadist. Oh boy, does Nazi Ferratu get off on watching people hurt. Whew. 5 of Cups. Yeah, he wants as much damage. Normally this is a card of disappointment, but this just feels like he's just enjoying the view. He's just gross. I wouldn't say that he's the person behind this. If anything, it's the whole Russell Vought. Is it the architect of Project 2025? I think was Ann said something like that. Sorry, I missed it. Jolene, how does your family feel about all that's going on? Do not talk about it with them. Nope. Nope. No point. There's no point talking to them about. Talking to them about politics. Giovanna says, I am surprised you did find him hanging in your attic. Yeah. Okay. Jay O'Brien had a question at 4320. Michelle King of the Social Security Administration stepped down as acting commissioner of the Social Security Administration, the SSA, after 30 years. Thank you for all your good work. She refused to provide DOGE, the muckrats, access to sensitive information. What will happen now that she's gone? La, 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 la. Jean Louise Overton said, yes, we have to bear down and keep calm. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. How did I miss that question? Okay. Anyway, Social Security. Queen of Pentacles. People are very, very dependent on Social Security. Very, very dependent. There's the Sun. There's Temperance. So they were blocked. but there's a thief card in the middle. Disappointment and then judgment. All right, this feels like there's some pushback. I wonder if it's legal. There was definite pushback here, but they want to be awful. Yeah, that's a 7. This feels more like stumbling around, knocking things over. But there's big judgment. So what is this? What is this judgment? Is this a court that stops the muck rats? Muck and the muck rats? Oh, and I know that many of you have seen in the news, but just in case anybody has been avoiding the news, which I understand, oh, the idiots. The Musk's little minions, the muckrats, are very young. My understanding is they were all under 26, something like that. Very young. And I don't care what anybody says, Elon Musk is not as bright as people say he is. He just isn't. There might be one thing over here or something that he's can think through faster than I can or you can, but on the whole, every one of us, we are so much smarter than he is. Oh, thank you, Claude. I want everyone who's watching to click the thumbs up to this video. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Claude. Thank you. Anyway, so Muck came out and said that half of what's going out in Social Security is fraud. There are people 150 years old getting checks and all this kind of stuff. The system is old. It uses COBOL language, I want to say. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which has its own way of doing calculations. No, these people are not 150 years old. It's how the information is stored. But he's too dumb. He's too dumb to recognize, oh, that's a different language. That's a different program. Corel, thank you, Rowan. And of course the muckrats, they don't know. They don't understand the idea that, oh, these older systems are using a different coding language. Goral says it reminds us even as young as 19. That was it. So Ms. Gibson had a great question. He gets the money is all I see. So I'm sorry I missed it. All right. Oh, I'm glad you like the kitties. Oh, the little soft fuzzy tummies. All right. COBOL. Kelly says, okay, so it is COBOL. I said COBOL. I remember Y2K, all the number crunching to make space. Amy says, my aunt helped program it. Definitely COBOL. Multiverse said COBOL code. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon. And Robbie said, yes, it is COBOL. Okay. So I just wanted you to be aware of that. We got that judgment card. What is that? What is that? What is that? Right in the center, we have the weakest among us who need the most help and who we should help because, well, they're not, but we understand the concept of community. And again, I remember growing up, there was a poster. Actually, a poster I saw several times in various churches I went to, back in the back. You run across these posters that say things like, you never stand so tall as when you reach down to help someone else. I agree with that. These people, Not a chance. Anne says that software is probably older than the muckrats. Oh, it is. Oh, absolutely. MAGA is going to MAGA. Underneath that, I've got a 10 of swords, though. MAGA is going to get hurt. They're going to get caught up in the chaos. Then it's not going to be so much fun. High Priestess, Page of Cups, Three of Pentacles. It honestly, it just feels, I feel like I'm on a ledge. Not just going over the ledge, but this energy, it feels like we're on edge, maybe would be the way to put it. And there is a plan, but I'm not getting much after that. So maybe this part of the plan gets pushed aside. Fingers crossed. Elizabeth Farmer says, I wrote my first novel on PageMaker. 600 pages, single space, good times. That's impressive. That is impressive. Amy says, interpreted literally, the COBOL system uses a birth date of May 20th, 1875 for every person with an unknown birth date. There we go. Lori says, what about HIPAA laws being accessed with Social Security? Disability, I guess there would be some medical stuff there. So SSDI, but Social Security itself is just a matter of age and how much you've paid in, I believe. Oh, thank you again, Claude. When we want to do something, it will succeed if we are settling our mind to believe it will. There we go. How's the garden theme merch going? It's going. I was talking to Sarah this morning about how how the logistics of setting up a proper place where I can start having all the merch, because I'm not entirely happy with spring. So Gene says SSI is also based on medical records. Oh, okay. This is, it's not good, but like Eight of Swords, that is some people getting hurt, but Two of Cups this is positive. But Four of Wands, so I've got negativity here, but with some good in the middle. And that's what we're going forward into. They're still going to, this is going to continue for a while. Amy Albert says that might be Medicare, which is based on medical records. There we go. Old Silver says in banking records. Yep, there you go. Yeah, there's some people worried. I'm not, but there are some people worried about, with the IRS, if you get direct deposit, then the IRS knows the routing numbers for your checking account. There's some people worried about that. I'm not going to. No. I'm not going to get bent out of shape about this. I could be wrong, but actually, we should probably look at that. 5440, as I'm talking about it. I'm feeling a little bit of a nudge. Let's read on that. Will the banks in the U.S. remain stable? I mean, if we're doing the let's go back 80, 90 years in history, we do have a different system now. And right now we still have an FDIC. I know there are some people who are saying that, get out of regular banks, get into a credit union. That could be an option for some people. And the one thing I was confused by is that I was reading about the FDIC, and apparently, from what I read, there's an equivalent for credit unions, just different acronyms. So if they get rid of the FDIC, they could technically get rid of this other one. I couldn't understand it. I tried. I was getting such conflicting information. Banking. Banking in the U.S. I just keep getting mental images of people just being calm and doing what they can, and then working on their garden or trying to grow some plants. So, they're a little victory against fascism garden, to being sensible, organizing. I just keep getting the same mental images over and over. And that's our side. So that we have the energy to function, to handle the uncertainties, and to help others, and to be ready, not just to contact our representatives, but if we need to protest, if we need to do something to help others, whatever it is. But the banks. Well, Trump is a chaos agent. We know that. He has Uranus. And the low vibration of Uranus is just utter chaos. And his Uranus is in the same place as conjunct his sun, his very sense of self. He is a chaos agent. He likes chaos. He lives in it. He creates it. Knight of Wands with a DEHEH card. This is the beginning. And what this means is, if it suits their purposes, if it would make them money, if it would help the oligarchs, sure, whatever. There's the country, the Empress. But Seven of Cups, Page of Wands. And what this says is that these idiots, and these MAGA idiots, they're not the best and the brightest. They're not on the top of their game. They don't understand, but they also don't quite understand how to do what it is they want to do. Like they can't get things aligned to be as destructive as they want to be. Does that make any sense? Goral, I was talking about that all at the beginning of the live stream, but thank you. Amy says, we've got to have the dumbest group of voters ever. Kay Coop says, they deserve some praise as people will learn to conserve, be frugal, grow their own food, most likely. Deserve some praise. Who deserves some praise? King of Pentacles. Bankers, you had those all oligarchs behind Trump at his inauguration, but those were the oligarchs. This feels more like the people who. This feels more like some bankers, Wall Street, some people who weren't there, but they really do not want the banking systems messed with. People are very, very worried, sometimes unnecessarily. Two of Wands. This is a bunch of talk from Trump and his ilk. Four of Wands. This is losing interest. I'm not giving financial advice. I am not qualified to do that. I am saying, as a person, just be sensible. Just be sensible. Be as boring as you possibly can be. Whatever redundancies you can put in place, do that. If there's something on sale that you are guaranteed to use up over time, get that. Rock says he wants the Fed. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Pim just says, you keep warning about the astrology. When does it really clear up? How long do I need to hold my breath? Oh, don't hold your breath. Breathe. Breathe, my friend. When does it clear up? Well, okay. Well, there's so much energy coming through this summer. And then that energy dissipates for a while because those outer planets are going to go into retrograde, which moves them out of alignment with each other. And then in 2026, they come back together. It'll just be, instead of around 0 or 1 degrees of the signs, it'll be at like 6 degrees of the signs next year. I guess I'll have to quote the Harry Potter novels and movies. Buckle up, it's going to be a bumpy ride. On the night bus. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for today. Any questions I didn't get to, I'll roll over to tomorrow. Sarah should be here tomorrow. We get Sarah Thursday. So, that's always a good thing. But anyway, hang in there. Seriously, hang in there. And I do believe we are going to get through this. But I would take it with a grain of salt if anyone is telling you, give it, 3 weeks and Democrats are going to control everything. And it's like, okay, prove me wrong, sure. But we're going to get through it. We're going to be okay. You're not alone. We are in this together. And there are good days ahead. They're out there. They're coming. All right. And I will see you over on Creative Sprints in a couple of hours. We're not talking about politics. We're focusing on our project. Pick a project. Anything. We're just being productive and encouraging to each other. And then I will be right back here tomorrow. Here every day. All right. Take care. Be well. Be well. All right. And I will talk to you later. Giovanna, would you ever consider doing an audiobook hour? I don't know what that means, Giovanna, but let me know. Or drop by Creative Sprints. That's the kind of stuff we talk about over there. All right. Thank you.